Welcome to another week of Brews and Boxing. I'm your host, Raider Live. What's happening out there to the boxing fan community? Back with another week, another awesome show, another subscriber. All doing good. Filthy Rich is with me as always. Filthy Rich, how are you?
Well, you know, I'm doing about as well as LeBron James, being the only player in NBA history with 30,000 points, 9,000 assists, and just hit his 10,000th rebound. Only player in NBA history. I'll drink to that.
Sounds fake. Are you drinking eggnog again?
Yes.
How did you find more of that?
January?
Don't worry about it.
Well, this show is going to be stuck with a lot of bathroom breaks, I'm sure. In this, also with us is the one, the only, the head of the Sauce family, Judge Jimmy James. Judge, what's up?
Not a lot. I cannot believe. Oh my God, you are chugging that, man. He's going to get sick, folks. This is going to be very bad. This might be a show to watch the video because I will not stop recording if something bad happens. Just so you know, Rich, I will not stop recording.
Bring it on.
Was there more to that, or I'm sorry? All right. Well, good show this week. We got some reviews on our friend Matt from Lindstrom's fight. We also have a preview of this next coming week and a bunch of news. And I'm drinking this. I had to stop and get some beer on the way home, you guys know. And this is the Schaff and Hofer Hefeweizen Grapefruit Beer, imported straight from Germany. And as I was trying to open it to toast you fellows, I realized it's not a twist off. So I have this screwdriver here. I'm trying to. Ow. We'll do it live, I guess. Maybe we'll do it when I come back. So, gentlemen, I wish I could cheers you, but I can't because I just tore all this shit off my hands. So, gentlemen, cheers.
Cheers.
Only the Germans invented something like a bottle opener.
Whew.
All right, let's move on to the show, and I gotta go find a bottle opener. And we're back after an extended delay there, after I cut my hand trying to open a bottle, and after Rich discovered that eggnog was 2 weeks expired, and apparently my stomach was paying the price for it too, which is a little weird, but pretty gross. Moving on, we got a lot of news to hit here, boys, so let's do it before we have to make another hospital run here. First thing is WBC drops 5 fighters from its rankings for failing to enroll in VADA testing. There are some big names on this list. But Judge Jimmy James, you're the one that brought this one up, so why don't you drop the names and tell us what we got?
Well, Rich is definitely going to be the expert here, but I will start it off.
I didn't want to just start with that Rich knows about drugs. I just didn't want to tell him.
Yeah, I just said I'll start it off so he can take it home. Anyway, so yes, 5 people have been dropped from the WBC rankings because they failed to register for VADA testing. Out of those, it's 3 British fighters and then 2 welterweights, or a welterweight and a featherweight. The biggest name in the British list is going to be Conor Benn, who is number 5 on the WBC, and then welterweight Mario Barrios was a big one, and then Mauricio Lara as well have been knocked off this list. So those are 3 big guys because Lara just beat Warrington, take his belt. Obviously, no contest on the second fight. Barrios is trying to come up to fight Thurman, and then Conor Benn is saying that he's ready for a title fight and wants his fight, right? So it's going to be a little interesting because I'm not 100% sure how this is going to affect everything. Obviously, this is just the WBC rankings; they're just rankings. I don't know how this is actually going to affect fights in progress, already signed, or anything like that. But I mean, kind of a big deal, like. Not really sure why you don't want to be enrolled in VADA testing if everything's on the up and up. So I don't know. I think it's kind of big news. But I mean, that's about all I got for now. I mean, I'm looking forward to what Rich has to talk about this.
Well, Rich doesn't want to be in VADA testing either because they'd find out all that eggnog in the system even in June. It's pretty terrible. But Mario Barrios got a fight coming up against Keith Thurman here for the small price of, was it $75.95 for that fight there, James, that you're paying for us?
Well, no.
How does that affect that too? If you're unranked or out of the rankings, can you win the belt even if you're not in the VADA testing? So, Furious Filthy Rich, take it from here.
Yeah, it's $74.95 for the fight. So there's a dollar saved. Dollar saved is a dollar earned.
Hey, Uncle Sam.
Spend the 75, you get a 12-pack of Tecate to come with it.
Yeah, no, I think this is good. Let's touch on the WBC rankings, which don't matter because none of these governing bodies know how to rank people anyways. So who cares what the rankings are? VADA testing. I like VADA testing. Let's hope all the other governing bodies fall in line with that. But again, they don't know how to rank. They don't know how to rank anything. If anything, it should be us. It should be ESPN. It should be the Ring Magazine. We should be ranking these guys based on if they're enlisted or enrolled in VADA testing. So, yeah, WBC, nice start. But yeah, my guess is if there was a WBC belt on the line, which where I bet you WBC is gonna, if you want the belt, you have to enlist in VADA testing. But since the belts don't matter anyways, the fighters don't have to enroll in VADA testing. And good, I mean, I guess good for them, not good for us, the fans, but that's all I can really add.
Made up a belt for Thurman yet?
Maybe it's coming, but would it be WBC or would it be WBO making up a belt or IBF? WBC tends to be the guilty party that makes up belts. And if they're probably not going to, unless Barrios enrolls in VADA testing.
Very interesting to see. We'll keep an eye on it here too. Let's hope it's nothing like steroids. It's just, sex pills like Big Baby. Let's hope it's that. That's the reason these guys don't want to. Moving on, Shakira Stevenson and Oscar Valdez have agreed to a title unification fight in April here. Stevenson lobbied for a title after Valdez beat Burchelt back in February to claim the title. Shakir came off a fight. Who did he just beat? He beat somebody else. Herring, right? He beat Herring.
Yeah.
Title. Yeah. So they're going to unify the 130 belt. So that's coming up in April 30th in Las Vegas. How excited are you guys for this? Rich, we'll start with you.
I think it's a good fight. Let's see if Valdez passes a drug test or if this gets postponed due to COVID or something. But right now it's like on paper, and that is a start. So terms and conditions have been met. It'll be on ESPN, maybe ESPN Plus. This is probably, it's probably not the best fight, but at least there's something there. Call this one like an eliminator for someone else. But these two, I don't even know if they match up well, but it's a good fight. I guess I'm excited to see Shakira back in the ring.
Now, you said Valdez had some problems with some drug tests before. I want you to elaborate on that a little bit.
I thought he failed a drug test not too long ago.
Yeah, he did. I thought you had more to say on it. James, maybe you have some more to say on it then, on the Valdez dropping a drug test, and he was dropped from the rankings because of it. And what else you see in this fight?
Well, one, I don't remember if anything even happened because he tested positive for something before his scheduled fight against Kambosos, and then nothing ever happened. It just went away. It was like, all right, well, that was kind of weird. Like the WBC didn't say anything, just kind of went, oops. And then was like, this is going to happen, which didn't make any sense, especially if they just drop 5 people from rankings for not enrolling, not even testing, just not enrolling. They're not enrolled. So I don't know. It's interesting. But either way, I think this is actually, if we're talking about early 2022 for fights that are already made or are in talks of being made that actually have materialized, like this is huge. In my opinion, I think this is way huge. Stevenson's coming up. He keeps getting better fights. I didn't think it was going to be that great of a fight against Herring in the first place. And obviously just kind of whooped him up, right? Valdez, even just take out the drug deal, when he fought against Burchelt, that was amazing. That is not what I thought was going to happen. And that was amazing. Knocking out a champion that has been a champion for that long with that kind of style. He looked like poo against Kambosos. And Kambosos, he should have lost that fight. And Kambosos should have won, but he was just a dummy running around the ring for 2 rounds going, oh, yeah. Like, dude, yeah, you didn't win, bud. Way to mess that one up. So he's going to have to bounce back. I think he took a poor bounce back fight. because even though he's got a lot more power than probably any opponent that Shakira has faced, power don't mean nothing if you can't hit him. And Stevenson is one of the better defensive fighters for not getting hit. And he just showed against Herring that he's got the power and the skills to hit you. So I think this is I think it's a good fight. It's a bounce back fight for Valdez to prove that he's still where he should be. And it's an up and coming fight to prove for Stevenson to prove that he is the blue chip, on his way for pound greatness. If he can just if he can withstand this and roll right through it. So I think it's awesome.
Well, obviously we'll go over predictions when we get closer to it. If it happens, we really hope it does, because this has possible fight of the year potential. Possible, it could be, possible. Huh? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think so. It could. You never know.
It could be. It could be.
Very good fighters.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Judge James, you got to talk about this one, because Vasily Lomachenko is prepared to fight Kambosos in Australia, says Bob Arum, because he says nobody. What was it? Lomachenko was supposed to fight somebody else. I can't remember. And Bob Arum says nobody knows him in Australia, so he wants to fight Kambosos instead. Is that what it is? Or
no? Talking about fighting Kambosos.
Haney. It was Devin Haney.
Don't worry about it. Just pass it.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Haney was supposed to fight Kambosos. All right, that was the whole deal. That's Haney is doing this now. Bob Arum, and his 90-year-old wisdom, or whatever you want to call it, is saying that it's Lomachenko is prepared to fight Kambosos. So right now, everyone is prepared to fight Kambosos because he has all the belts. Besides one, I guess, the one that Haney believes that he has, which doesn't make any sense. But that's what he's trying to get. Haney wants a unification fight. Arum's saying that Lomachenko is the one who's prepared to fight because he's going to be the bigger name. Of course, he's going to be the bigger name. He's going to be the one that's going to get more pay-per-view buys if it goes to a pay-per-view. It's obviously going to draw more marketing, more money, the whole 9 yards, right? Haney is a lesser name, but I mean, either way, somebody's going to fight Kambosos. There's not that many people to do it. Yeah, I'd rather see Loma, to be honest. Then Loma can fight Haney, and then the world can be happy. But either way, or if it doesn't work out that way and Haney fights Kambosos, then Loma will fight Haney. So either way, I think it's going to end up being Lomachenko is going to fight Haney at some point after one of them fights Kambosos. So, but I don't know. I don't really care for whatever Arum's saying. It's obviously the bigger money fight, so that's why he's trying to promote this. That's for sure.
All right, I guess I'll just go to me. So I kind of said this a while back. Lomachenko is going to be taking Lopez's scraps, and that's what he's done so far. In this case with Kambosos, my guess is the offer is going to be Lomachenko will take less money than Devin Haney, and that is how this fight's going to get done. I don't think Loma's out there trying to make a buck. He's out there for greatness. And while I can sit here and rip on belts and things of that nature, the belts mean something to the fighters. It's like something to bring to the table for the next fight. Devin Haney makes a point that Lomachenko ducked him, and he is the original WBC champion, and they awarded Lomachenko with they made up the franchise title or whatever. They made up a title and they gave it to Lomachenko. So Devin Haney kind of has a case as to why he is the champion in this division. I know he claimed that there was an eliminator, that Lomachenko was already eliminated because of the loss to Lopez. But at that time, Kambosos wasn't even thought of. So we're back to this weird title eliminator thing for someone's belt, I guess you could say. At the end of the day, I think Lomachenko gets the fight with Kambosos. I think Haney's going to get a fight with someone, maybe Ryan Garcia, although Garcia is already talking about somebody else he'll probably pull out of again. But by the end of the summer, I believe at the end of the summer, maybe I shouldn't even say that. But Haney and Lomachenko are going to have to come to a head at some point. And my guess is it'll probably actually be December. I think it'll be Heisman Trophy weekend when Lomachenko generally fights. I'll drink to me.
Yeah, stop me if you heard this one again. But Bob Arum wants to have two white guys fight each other. Stop
That's
me if you heard
fair.
this one. Stop me if you heard this one like last week. But maybe Kambosos will get the respect that I've already given him that you guys apparently aren't giving him in the rankings. Pound for pound.
If you want that to happen, he better fight Haney first. I'll tell you that right now.
Why is that? You think he loses to Lomachenko that bad?
Yeah, I do. 100%. Oh, yeah.
That sounds like a Tecate bet if I've ever heard.
You go ahead and get a keg of
You're
Tecate,
betting against
bud.
Lomachenko. You
Not
gotta
in
be
the way
kidding
that
me.
he's saying domination. I'll take. I'll go the distance.
Yeah, okay. You can have a 20-gallon keg of Tecate to yourself, and I'll buy it for you if frickin' Kambosos wins.
That's a lot of urine.
That's what you said you drink.
Yeah. All right, next bit of news here. As you know, Canelo always fights on Cinco de Mayo here, and we don't know who his opponent's going to be this year, but apparently Oscar De La Hoya, in one of his Scarface-like moments, all coked up, says that Jamal Charlo has earned his Canelo fight. Canelo's been fighting way above what Jamal's at recently. What do you think? Has Jamal got a chance to be the Cinco de Mayo fight? We'll start with you, Filthy Rich.
Yeah, I think he does. I think. Look, I don't remember the last. I don't know where the last Canelo Cinco de Mayo fight was, but my guess was Texas, where Jamal Charlo is from. So there's a good chance. I mean, like a month ago, maybe even longer than that, Jamal is already posting videos that he's moving to 168. So that's kind of like we have a weight for both of them at this point. He's a big enough name at 160 and I guess 168. Is this a fight we want to see? I'd prefer Benavidez, but does he have a shot at Canelo on Cinco de Mayo? Yeah, he has a really good shot to get this fight. It's all going to come down to who's going to take less money, because Canelo's going to get his 30 million. What is remaining? And if Jamal wants to take like whatever it may be, it's going to come down to him, or maybe Benavidez still could be in the mix. And just like Kambosos and Lomachenko, the winner, the guy who gets to fight Canelo is the winner, is going to be the one who takes less money.
Right on that. Just to confirm, you were right. Last year at Cinco de Mayo, he fought in Texas at AT&T Stadium. That was the Billy Joe Saunders fight.
Okay.
Judge J.D. James, you agree with him that Jamal's got a very good shot? Jamal's got a good shot to be the Cinco de Mayo fight, or do you think it's going to be somebody else, maybe a little higher weight class?
Look, the statement was that he earned the Canelo Alvarez fight. Absolutely not. There is absolutely no way that Jamal Charlo has earned the right to fight Canelo Alvarez. No way. His last fight was against Juan Matias, which he took to decision. Before that, it was Rebenchenko, which he took to decision. Dennis Hogan before that in 2019. Like, no. I already said that fight's not going to happen. Last year in 2021 is not going to happen. It will never happen. Canelo's moving up anyway. He's not going to fight at one. He's not going to fight at 160. He's not going to fight at 168 anymore. He's going to fight at 175 or higher. That's just what he wants to do. He doesn't want to do anything else. The fact that he's saying that he has earned this that's the thing that I just cannot wrap my brain around, because I do not believe that he has earned that fight with Canelo Alvarez at all. You fight a bigger name in your division to get up there. I think he's the better of the two brothers, but no, the statement is crazy to me. So I say no.
Well, no. The other thing I would point out too is he has nothing that Canelo would want. Why? He doesn't want any of his middleweight titles. He doesn't want any of that stuff. He's trying to clean out divisions as he moves up. I'd be taking a giant step back. I don't understand why that fight would be there. You can get plenty of money for fighting Beterbiev or someone up in that range, or Joe Smith Jr. or someone up like that. What do you guys, like, the money can't be there. There's no goal. There's no goal besides the money, and the money would be the same. And you're losing.
It's all about
out on your goal. I mean, I just don't see it. James, you're giving a weird
Well, Rich just said, let Rich be. What you got?
If the fight is in Texas, he is going to draw a lot of people to this stadium. I don't know where else you're going to have this fight. Jerry's World is probably going to be hosting the Cinco de Mayo fight. What names can you put in there that can sell the place out? Didn't Errol Spence fight there not too long ago? He's from Houston or Dallas. I don't know where these guys are
Why
from.
are you worried about selling out? This is Canelo. They're going to sell out Canelo Stadium anywhere. Canelo's going to sell it out no matter who he fights. He's fighting me and sell it out. I mean, that has nothing to do with that. It's true.
Wait, is it who's talking here? Is it me or you? Or is it James? Me. Or who is it? I don't know. We're losing track here. Look, Canelo can fill maybe half the stadium, but you need other people there. And in Texas, you got to get a Texas guy. If this fight's in Florida, Jermall does not sell this fight out. And Canelo doesn't really sell the fight. Canelo had a fight with Amir Khan at Texas, and it didn't sell out. It was empty. It wasn't empty, but it was like a quarter full. If you want, Amir Khan is not a big name, but had that been in Wembley, that probably maybe it sells out. I don't know. But we're talking Texas. You get a Texas boy in there to fight the biggest star in boxing right now, if it's not Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, to fight Canelo, the place will sell to capacity. It is very important that you get the right opponent. And again, Benavidez could be the right guy too. I think Benavidez is from Arizona, but he has the Mexican heritage and the Mexican roots. So that can be a big Cinco de Mayo to Mexican fighters. But look, going to James's statement, did he earn it according to De La Hoya? James makes a good point. He probably didn't earn it. What does a guy got to do to earn it? I don't know. Who has earned it? I don't know who's earned it. I don't think Canelo's moving up to cruiserweight. The Makabu fight's not going to happen, apparently. And I don't know if he's headed that direction either. I don't know if he's staying at 175. I don't know if there's money at 168. I don't know what's going on here. But having Jermall Charlo versus Canelo in Jerry's World makes sense to me. That's where probably the most money you're going to get, unless it's Benavidez.
Well, I can't look up the sellouts of the fight against Amir Khan, but that was before he even fought Triple G.
Dude,
and
Amir Khan was
6
years ago. 6 years ago. This is the same time.
It was Jerry's World, right?
And plus, in Texas, is right next to Mexico. I'm sure you can fill that place up with as many Mexican fans as you wanted to in Texas, if you wanted to. Canelo would sell it out if he was fighting me. That's how big a star he is right now. James,
talking crazy.
You agree with me? Tell him why I'm right.
Canelo is the draw in boxing. Everybody wants to fight him because they know they're getting a payday because he's going to sell out fight. That's just what he does. It doesn't matter who he's fighting. He's just going to sell it out. I don't think he's going to get more of a draw in Texas with Charlo than if it was a Dimitri Bivol fight or a Beterbiev fight or a Benavidez fight. For me personally, that's just my opinion. I think there's I don't think Charlo's at 160. This is 170.
No, he's one.
You could say he's 168, but he ain't. He
hasn't fought. We say Danny Garcia's at 154. He hasn't fought at 154. Jermall Charlo has posted videos with "I move into 168" written on them. Look, I'm standing by that. I don't know. Bivol is not going to sell out Jerry's World. Neither will Beterbiev. Jermall probably does.
No, Canelo will. Canelo will, period. Whoever he fights. It doesn't matter.
He didn't. But he didn't.
You were talking about something
next to Mexico.
6 years ago, Rich. 6 years ago.
Was it 6 years ago?
2016. It's 2022, bro.
It was 6 years ago. Yeah.
When was
before he fought Triple G?
When was the last fight? Where was
Caleb Plant?
I'm talking about at Jerry's World. When the last time Canelo fought at Jerry's World?
Billy Joe Saunders.
And what did that do?
AT&T Stadium.
That is Jerry's World.
Sold out.
Did not sell out, man. You're crazy.
He didn't sell out against Billy Joe Saunders?
No.
I want to bet that so much.
Well, we can look it up. We can look it up later and we'll post in the comments. But yeah, that's I don't want to. I think we've beaten this one up pretty good there, folks.
Hi, Matt from Lindstrom. Call me later.
No way. Come on. All right. One more thing to talk about. Hey, maybe this guy can get the Cinco de Mayo fight. Kovalev is making a return to boxing in March 12th for a return bout. What do you guys think of Kovalev making the return to the ring? He will be on Triller. Actually, Triller is actually going to sponsor a fight again. And he's going to be fighting a 185-pound catchweight fight. I don't see a opponent yet, but it's that Meng, the Faces of Fear, right? Is that who it was? Yeah, that's right.
Fan Long Meng.
That's right. So, what do you guys think of this, James? Start with you.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Fan Long Meng was supposed to fight Beterbiev at some point. I don't remember why it was canceled, but I think it might have been a COVID thing. I mean, I'm surprised that I'm pretty sure I thought he retired. I thought Kovalev retired. I don't know where he came from. I don't know why he wants to get back in the ring. I feel like he's been embarrassed the last couple of times. Like, I thought he just got his money and ran, and maybe he's poor with money. You gotta go get an accountant, bud. But I don't know. This is interesting that Triller is coming back with this. So Triller is coming back after botching the Kambosos Lopez, which probably would have made him a lot of money now in hindsight. But yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if I would watch it except for laugh value, but yeah, this is definitely interesting news.
Well, first thing, of course, Triller would have it because he's 38, old, and never been back. His last fight was against Canelo, and that was, what was that, 2020? 19. And apparently he did have a bout scheduled for January, but tested positive for synthetic testosterone. So
that's our
yeah. Hot start for old Kovalev here. So what do you think, Filthy Rich? He's waiting 2 months after being losing his fight. So what do you think?
So look, if it's going to be on Triller, maybe Jim Lampley has something to do with it. If Jim Lampley does not want to honor his contract or whatever it is with Triller, maybe this is a way to get Jim Lampley back. Look, we got two guys, Kovalev and some other dude that was supposed to fight Beterbiev. This is a point for Kovalev where he might be the gatekeeper. He's not been a gatekeeper of a division yet, but he's at the stage in life where if this guy, I don't know his name, Meng something, whatever, if this guy beats Kovalev, then we know Kovalev is a gatekeeper at, maybe cruiserweight. I know it's a catchweight fight. I don't think he's going back down to 175, but Triller puts on a good card. They put on not a good card, a good show. We might see some more slap fighting. We might see Ric Flair and Pete Davidson. We might see a lot here. This would probably be worth getting, to be honest with you. So James, clean off the seats. I'm coming over, dog.
Well, before I pass it to James, I just want to point out the reason why that it's on Triller, because they might be able to say, hey, we're going to just not sanction it. It's going to be, that's why, because he just failed drug test in January. And we're talking March. So
no, it'll be sanctioned.
Triller's the one that makes up them weird rules and stuff like that to get around stuff like that. So, maybe it's something like that. I have no idea. James, what do you think about this?
I mean, I don't really have. Didn't I already talk about this?
Well, yeah, but he was passing it over to you because he was going to come over to your house and dust off a chair.
Oh, so the question is are people going to watch it at my house? Yeah, that's fine.
How much you paying for it?
I'm not paying anything.
You
guys got to pay. You got a cover charge. You got to pay a cover charge, and then we can watch the fight. No problem.
I'll pay for it. I'll come over.
Maybe us three could have a slap fight. Or we can do that on our Triller. We'll have a slap fight after this show. It seems like everyone's way up here. Let's get that slap fighting in there for the Bruce Boxing edition on the
Kovalev. You can get Snoop Dogg to come over, then 100%.
All right, that's a very heated section of news this week, boys. We got through it here. Bunch of interesting news, and let's move on with the show. First and reviews time. Gonna review Matt from Lindstrom versus Steve, as I said on his shorts. Stevie G, my guy, Stevie G. I'm going to point out my stuff here before I pass over to you guys here. I was very disappointed in Matt from Lindstrom in this fight. I felt like he played down to his opponent, I guess. I felt like he should have beat him pretty easily, pretty early, but he didn't. I think it went, 9 rounds to get him in the 9th, I believe. 8th or 9th round, I believe. Feel like he should have knocked him out plenty early. Stevie G didn't seem like he wanted to really throw any punches. He just wanted to sit there and cover his face. He did get in one good shot here, as you can see behind me, right to the body, but that was about it. What do you guys think of this fight? I watched it with you, Judge Jimmy James, so we'll start with you.
So it's Joe Smith Jr. for those who don't follow the show, just in case. Matt from Lindstrom is a friend of the show, sort of, maybe.
Acquaintance with the show.
I don't know. He'll probably get upset. You're going to call me later. I'm probably not going to answer, just so you know. Call Rich. He'll answer. I'll return your call later. But either way, Joe Smith Jr. versus Steve Geffard.
Steve.
Yeah, it was Stevie G. It was interesting. I did think it was going to – obviously, we all had our predictions. Thought it was going to go a lot sooner than that. But, I mean, I'll give credit to a guy taking 8-day notice to get up there. He didn't seem to have – it seemed like he had a pretty good – like a stiff jab when he actually threw it. But unfortunately, his defense was the high guard, and that just he wasn't busy enough to keep Joe Smith off of him. He should have been jabbing a lot more than he was, and he just wasn't, because he was popping. Because Joe Smith doesn't, obviously, he has some head movement, but not a lot. And there's a couple of times where Smith was just kind of unloading whenever he kind of wanted to. So yeah, but I can definitely agree that it did seem like he was playing down to his opponent, because I thought he was going to do better, but it seemed like that might have been his game plan to just kind of take his time and put the hurt on the old meat locker. But yeah, I don't know. I thought he did what he needed to do. Still got a knockout, even though it was a TKO. But yeah, I think it was still what he needed to do. It was a good fight.
Well, as you and me were both pointing out watching it too, and Steve just stayed in that high guard the whole time. Why didn't you hit in the body? The body was sitting there wide open the entire time. He just wouldn't. He'd hit it like once or twice, and then do that dusting speed bag thing to the guy's high guard. I never understood that. What are you trying to do there? And of course, this whole fight, I'm sitting there, I'm like, just knock him out already. And then as soon as I go to the restroom, he knocked him out. So that was how my night ended there. Filthy Rich, what did you see that we didn't see?
I didn't see anything you guys didn't see. Geffard, Steve.
Just Steve.
Stevie G, man, it's so much easier.
Says right on his trunk, just Steve. I might as well say opponent.
Yeah, so Steve, what James said, he took it on short notice, 8 days notice. You got to give the guy some sort of credit to an extent, because if you can't fight, if you're not going to show up, get somebody else in there who will show up. Not to accuse anyone of being there for a check, but Steve was overmatched. I mean, this fight shouldn't have happened. If there's any time to boo a promoter, it would have been right there. That's where Bob Arum should have been booed out of the building. I didn't even see Bob Arum in the building. I'm sure he was there, but it was kind of embarrassing. Now, a 9th round knockout. What took so long? I don't know. Pummeled the guy. Joe Smith pummeled Steve the entire fight, and we find out Steve is Olympian, maybe not Olympian, but definitely won a bunch of gold gloves in every state tournament he was ever in. So he is a polished fighter. And Joe Smith, I don't know when he took up boxing, and Joe Smith just pummeled him. But Joe Smith was there to be protected. He got his protection. He's going to move on to some other fight, maybe a Vlasov fight or something. But Steve G, he just needs a better matched opponent. We don't know if this guy stinks or not, but he should get something. We should see this. I want to see him again. I do want to see him again. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I understand trying to extend the fight because that's what you're doing. That you're there just to hopefully give him a few rounds, but you got to throw a punch at some point there, Steve. You're not going to win just sitting there with your hands on your face the entire fight. You're going to have to eventually hit him at some point.
He had a bad shoulder. He did mention he had a bad shoulder in like the 6th round, but
probably because he was getting pummeled on the entire fight too. I mean, he's not a guy as good as some of our historians that can win a fight without win a round without throwing a punch. He's not that good. Steve can't do it. But what's next for Joe Smith Jr.? What do you guys think? Where does he go from here after not a very entertaining performance? And, they were talking to have him fight Canelo and stuff like that. I don't think he did himself any favors getting a Canelo fight with that performance. What do you guys think? Where's he go from here? Filthy Rich, start with you.
Joe Smith. If I'm matching up Joe Smith, I maybe a later Alvarez fight. Beterbiev's the big talk. He wants Beterbiev. Okay. Beterbiev hasn't really had a big fight in his entire career, except for Alex Vosdick, but Bivol is obviously a name at 175. Bivol, Beterbiev are the top two. Joe Smith's probably number three, but I mentioned before Vlasov. I think Vlasov did a really good job against Joe Smith. I think Joe Smith would like to prove to people that he can handle a guy like Vlasov. So I'd say match him with Vlasov one more time.
What do you think, James? Where does he go from here?
Well, he said after the fight, he had three names. He said that if Canelo wants to fight at 175, that he will fight him at 175. No questions asked. Of course he will, because it's a giant payday for the blue collar man. Well, you
can't sell out Jerry's world.
The other two names that he threw out there were Dimitri Bivol and obviously Artur Beterbiev. And Bivol he had already lost to by unanimous decision a couple of years ago. So he probably wants a rematch to show that he can beat Bivol. And Bivol really hasn't shown much of anything lately. So that might be the better fight to see if he can then catapult him. Because if he can beat Bivol, that's going to springboard him into a bigger name fight, like against maybe a Beterbiev, or even give him enough clout to go fight with Canelo. Canelo might just see him as an easier target. Plus, he does stand. Canelo likes to hit standing targets. So I don't think that that's actually a crazy idea. It would just be, is Canelo afraid of that power? Because Joe Smith, if there's one thing he has, it is he will take a punch and 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 just keep coming at you, and he doesn't really falter. It's pretty crazy, but I think it's going to be if it was mine, it would be Bivol. He's probably going to fight Bivol.
Right on. Anything to add, Filter?
Is it when they fought? Did Bivol like break his jaw in the second round? And I believe that was the fight when Bivol fought Joe Smith. He broke Joe Smith's jaw in like the second round, and Joe Smith continued. I think the full 12 rounds. So when you talk a rematch, you wonder if a healthy Joe Smith beats up a healthy Bivol, who didn't look so Bivol-esque last time we saw him. So I do like that rematch, actually.
All right. Anything to add there, James? Any retort to that? Are we done with
I don't remember who the fight was that he broke his jaw against, but he did go 12 rounds or like 10 extra rounds with a broken jaw, and he doesn't guard his face. So I am surprised that he can still speak. So it's pretty crazy.
Maybe Stevie G can teach him a little that high guard for the next fight. He can guard his face a little better.
Do what you know, right, Joe.
That's right. We don't know what it is. If it's anything like Matt from Lindstrom, we don't know what's ever going on in that brain. So, all right, that's it for reviews. Let's move on with the show here. All right, brews and previews. I know what you may think looking at my background. We're talking about one of the Paul brothers versus Mike Tyson. But as Judge pointed out, that's exactly what would happen if Mike Tyson fought either of them. Doesn't matter which one. It'd be cartoonish with Mike Tyson standing over him. But that's not what we're talking about this week. We're talking about Rich's guy, Gary Russell Jr., fighting Mark Magsayo. Well, I'm not going to work here anymore, basically, is what we're going to do. He calls himself the Tasmanian Devil. What do you guys think of this fight coming up here? Judge, we'll start with you. Because we know what Rich is going to do about Gary Russell, so we'll start with you about this fight.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm curious to see what Rich is going to say, but Russell's finally getting back in the ring. I am surprised that he even has a belt still. I thought for sure that it would have been stripped by now, considering how long he's been out, but hey, whatever. It's for a belt. So congrats, I guess. Magsayo.
He bought it at JCPenney, so I mean, not that nice.
Well, you earned it. I don't know, but we'll see, man. Magsayo is I feel I could be completely wrong on this, but I feel at one point he said that he was like, or some individuals said that he was like a little Pacquiao, and I don't remember if that was 100% accurate, because it's definitely not his nickname. Could be mixing some stuff up, but he's from the Philippines. I feel like he is someone that's been touted as one of the better boxers from from the amateur ranks in the Philippines. So I think this is going to be a very good fight for both of them. And I think, I mean, what we
we'll
don't
get predictions later, but
I know, but we don't know is how is Russell going to come out? Like, I don't know what Russell are we going to get? Are we going to get the Russell of old, or are we going to get a weird Russell? And that's what we don't know. And that's what I think I need to see. I know Magsayo is going to come out heavy hitter and definitely bring it. We don't know what we're going to get with Russell, but at this point, I'm glad that Russell's in the ring. So next week I may be able to just tear into him later, but that's probably all I got right now.
Filthy Rich, explain why Gary Russell Jr. is so awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but when you have this kind of ring rust, this kind of layoff, anything can happen. The only thing I worry about is what kind of shape is Gary Russell in. I saw him beat up Jojo Diaz, friend of the show, Jojo Diaz, a couple years ago, something like that. And then we saw him again. Look, Gary Russell's forte is, you want a piece of me, you better shell out the dough. Kind of like Mayweather. If you want a piece of Mayweather, the asking price is $100 million, and that went up. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Magsayo probably is not getting paid much and is going to try to make a name for himself by beating Gary Russell and maybe luring him into a rematch somehow. I'm not sure, but I don't think Gary Russell is going to put himself in danger. I see him executing Mark Magsayo with ease.
All right. Well, it's prediction time now. What do you guys think? Before we get into that, just so you guys know, for you gamblers out there, Magsayo is coming in at plus 379, so about a 3.5 to 1 underdog, a little bit more than 3.5 to 1. So every 100 you bet wins you 379. Gary Russell's coming in at minus 514, which means you got to lay 514 to win 100. What do you guys think? With an over under of 10.5 rounds, what do you think? Judge, we'll start with you.
Well, look, Russell has the better resume. Okay. Even if he only fights once a year, he at least fights bigger name people in his division, right? His last 3 fights were against obviously Jojo Diaz, Kiko Martinez, and then Nambiar. So those are big, and this is what, 2018, 2019, 2020. So these are big time people, especially at that point. Nobody's past their prime. And he's beaten all of them, knockout one of them. So I mean, technically, Russell's only loss is to Lomachenko, which was a mixed decision anyway, or a majority decision. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like Rich said as well, I don't know what Russell we're going to get. He thinks he's going to walk all over him. I think that it's going to go. I think he's been out too long. I think it's 2 years too long, and I think he's going to lose to a split decision.
So you're taking Magsayo by split decision.
That's what I'm saying.
Rich, what do you got?
Look, Father Time is undefeated. Gary Russell ain't getting any younger. He hasn't put the miles on his body, so there's the benefit of the doubt there. You got someone like Golovkin who's getting older, but doesn't have the rounds the way other fighters do, because he used to beat people up all the time. I have Gary Russell winning this fight. It'll probably go the distance. I'll take Gary Russell unanimous decision.
Well, I'm a little disappointed in you, James, because I wanted to be the one to pick the underdog, the upset here. But I'm going to take Magnifico. That's his nickname, Magnifico, or the Tasmanian Devil. I really want to pick knockout, but I think it's just going to be, screw it. I'm going to take knockout in the 11th round, stoppage, TKO for the Tasmanian Devil. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cash my plus 379. That's what I'm going to do. So I got him winning by knockout in the 11th. James, you got the underdog, the Tasmanian Devil, Magnifico, winning by split decision. And Filthy Rich, you said unanimous decision for Gary Russell Jr. is what you said, I believe?
Yes.
All right, those are our picks. It's this Saturday. Make sure you watch it, tune in, and see who got it right. Leave your comments below of what you think is going to happen in that fight. All right, that's our show for this week. Filthy Rich, good luck with your food poisoning coming up later with that 2-week expired eggnog, and we'll be cheering for you, brother. Maybe we can get the fight in your hospital room. You never know. Why don't you bring us on home here before it comes up?
Yeah, shout out to Minnesotans, sort of Minnesotans. Simone Augustus and Maya Moore got inducted to the Minnesota Sports Hall of Fame today. Congrats, sisters. I'll drink to you.
Yeah, they're the ones that bring us titles in Minnesota, so I mean they deserve it. I'll tell you that. Judge, where are they watching us? And if they're watching us, where are they listening to us?
If they're listening to us and want to watch us,
yeah,
you can go to you can go to YouTube / Brews and Boxing. Got a little ahead of myself there. And if you are watching us and want to listen to us, you can go to any major podcast site and type in Brews and Boxing.
All right, I'm coming over to your house on Saturday to watch the fight. Rich will hopefully get you out in time, and you'll clear all that out of your system. Before then, don't bring any with you. And for Filthy Rich, Judge Jimmy James, I am Raider Live. Thank you very much. Have a good week, and we'll see you guys next week.